Can you say Black Indiana Jones? A franchise I didn't know I wanted, but now I need it. Let's talk about it. What up, people? Welcome to Black E Cool. We're here to talk about episode 4 of Lovecraft Country, A History of Violence. But before we dive into that, go ahead and hit the like button if you're watching the YouTube version, or hit the 5 stars if you're listening to the audio version, and go ahead and do feedback in the app if you listen to the audio version. And share it to everybody. Let everybody know about it. But yeah, this is a great way to support the channel if you like what I'm doing over here. So go ahead and share it. Montrose destroyed the book that he got from George. The book all about the laws and the order of the Ancient Dawn that George got from the lodge when they were in, I forget, Lovecraft Country, actually. Yeah. So he told him to use that book, give it to Tick, and let him use that book to protect the family. But some reason Montrose destroyed it, which makes me wonder, what does Montrose know about this book? Why he felt it was okay to destroy it? And I know he feels like he's trying to keep his son from magic, but it's already here. We need to be able to protect ourselves. So he messed up on that. I'm going to be 100%. You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have destroyed that. Which he's going to use information from that book later in the episode to solve something. So why did you destroy it? But yeah, crazy. Then we get a scene where Christina and Leti talk, and they drop in Rihanna. B better have my money. Oh, I didn't pay attention to the music as much in the episodes before, but now I'm starting to pay attention to it, and it's hitting a whole different way now. It's really good. It's the fuse new music with this old time setting. It works though. It works so good. But yeah, Christina goes to the Winthrop house looking for Hiram's, how you pronounce it, Ore? I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. I called it an obelisk last episode. I was wrong. I was totally wrong. It's not an obelisk. It's an Ore. Yeah, I believe it's pronounced Ori. It just sounds weird coming off my mouth. But yeah, she's looking for that, and she can't get into the house because the spell they put on the house episode before stops her. So that lets you know she's using some witchcraft or something. She is a wizard or a sorceress, or yeah, she's a wizard. So that definitely stops that. But then her and Leti talk, and Leti figures out that she gave her the money to buy the house, and she pushed her towards buying that house. So now she's like, what do you want from this house? And now that she knows that she wants that, she went and looked for it, but it's not there. We find out that Hippolyta, I think I'm pronouncing her name right, took it and has it at the shop, and she's trying to figure out what it is itself. Christina also tells Leti that she needs that Ori to find the missing pages of the Book of Name. And those are Hiram's pages. I guess, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. Titus, that's his name. Titus also has hidden pages too, but Christina has no idea where Titus hid his pages, but she believes the Ori will help her find Heimrith, not Heimrith. These names are crazy. I gotta get used to these names. Will help her find Hiram's pages though. And that will help her unlock more spells and be more powerful. She's also like, don't believe what these men are telling you. Just because their blood is sacred doesn't mean they're entitled to all this. So that's very interesting. So that's something to hold on to and try to figure out what she's talking about there. But then we go on to find Tick is doing research himself, trying to figure out where Titus's vault is. He knows that he possibly can open the vault because of his bloodline. And he wants to get the pages too to protect his family. Like, he wants to get those pages so he can be able to cast spells and protect them from Christina and all the other lodges that they kind of know about. Unfortunately, Montrose knows more than he's letting on and is not telling Tick just because he feels like he's trying to protect him from this magic. But Tick wants to know this stuff, and he kind of needs to know this stuff, so he needs to go ahead and tell him. He does eventually tell him the location of the vault, so it's road trip time. Yes, they got to go to Boston to a museum. But before they leave, Hippolyta and her daughter are like, yeah, we want to go too. So they end up tagging along, and they're like, Tick, Leti, and Montrose is like, no, you guys just stay here. They're like, no, we going. And when a black woman tell you they going, she's going. That's just what it is. So they end up, and some other dude hitched the ride with him too. The real tall dude that told Tick to go outside and look for his dad in the back of the alley, so he catch dude with the other dude doing their thing. I assume that's gonna come up later because that was just a weird scene to have out of nowhere. Which it does kind of come up during the museum trip because he's like, look, how did your dad know about this place with that security guard, blah blah that. So that's something interesting. Gotta find out. They're leading us there somewhere with that. Maybe, I'm pretty sure Montrose knows more than he's letting on, so I'm really interested to see what he knows about the sons of Adam and all this stuff, because we already remember episode 2, I believe it is, Montrose and George talked about Tick maybe not being Montrose's son, and I'm assuming it's George's son. And Montrose's like, we don't speak of that. So that's very interesting. I want to see if something comes of that. But yeah, they're at the museum. They end up breaking into the museum later that night, and we go full Indiana Jones. They're solving mysteries, going under secret caverns, doing this long walk. And I'm telling you, I'm like, why haven't we had a movie with this type of action adventure puzzle solving with a black character? Like, come on, Hollywood, why are you tripping? Let's get let's get on top of this. Like, was it Treasure Planet or Treasure National Treasure? That could have been a black dude. National Treasure could have been a black dude. The Mummy would have been awesome. Like, at the time, who was popular at the time that could have been, I can't think of it right now. But yeah, Hollywood, get on that. Either I'm going to get it, I might need to write that myself. No worries. Don't worry, Hollywood. I'm going to write it, and then I'm going to send it to y'all, and y'all can go ahead and make it. But yeah, they're under the museum, and they finally find Titus's vault, and Tick is able to get in because of his blood, a little spurt of blood or something. But they have to hurry up because the water's rising. It's crazy stuff, but it's cool. They get into this room. They find all these like corpses standing around, and they see the pages, and there's a corpse holding it. They reach for it, and the corpse reanimates, and it's this woman called, I'm going to pronounce her name terribly wrong, Yima. I think it's Yima. She is a two-spirit, so she's man and woman, and Titus kind of imprisoned her to try to get her to help him decode the pages, and she is very like upset with Titus's bloodline, and she's not gonna help Tick. And one thing is, Tick understands what she's saying too. Like, she's speaking a different language, and Tick understands it, and she understands him, which is very weird as well. Nobody else knows what's going on. Tick is kind of translating, so that's very weird. But they end up taking the pages, and then the room starts to collapse. So they gotta escape out of there with their lives. They get out, of course. You know, they're the protagonists. They get out safely, and they take this lady with them. They get back. For some reason, the house is under the this museum that's underground is actually under the house, the Winthrop house. I don't know how that works. They use the same elevator in Winthrop's house to go back and elevator. I don't know how that works, but we're just chalk it up to fantasy. Oh, while all this is going on, Christina runs into Lancaster, and they both are kind of fighting to find Hiram's I can't say the word now, trying to find that. And he is like, look, you're not going to come here and take over this chapter of the Sons of Adam. I'm next in line. I'm going to be the guy taking over here. And she's like, I didn't see you get inducted or nothing. So they're both fighting over who's going to be in charge or who's going to be the leadership of that. So that's going to be interesting to find out more about that guy. He might play a bigger role in the story down the road. So I'm definitely interested to see what happens with him. But she is clearly not backing down. She's like, look, I'm not going anywhere. This is going to be what it is. Also, William ends up going to a bar and hitting on Ruby, Leti's sister. So he ends up seducing her, and they go back to the crib and they're going to do their thing. So I don't know what he got planned for Ruby, because you ain't doing that out of the goodness of your heart. What you doing, bro? You clearly was sent there to do something for a reason. I don't know if you're trying to use her to get closer to Leti to get this Ori, but you're trying to do something, and I'm really interested to see what happens with that. So after Tick, Leti, and Montrose get the lady back to the new house, well, to the Winstrow's house, they're trying to talk to her like, look, we would like you to help us. And she's like, no, I'm not going to help you. And if you keep me prison, you're basically being just like Titus. And Tick is like, yeah, you're right. We're not going to keep you in prison. You're free to go if you please. You have here to stay. We're not going to do that. We'll just try to figure out another way to decipher the pages. No problem. They leave the room. Montrose is in the room with her, and he slits her throat, which is really weird because you were dead before, but now that he slit your throat, you're really dead. So I don't think that's gonna be the end of that, but maybe it is. I don't know. It's a little weird for me, but yeah, that's my kind of review of episode 4, A History of Violence, and it kind of brings up more questions than anything now with this episode, but it was a really good episode. I really dug this episode a lot. Really exciting. Started to move some more characters around, started to get into some more characters' secrets and see what's going on in this world. And I am really interested to see what's going to happen in the next episode. So thank you guys for listening. As always, hit the like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and go hit the 5 stars and give some feedback if you're listening to the audio version of this. Appreciate you guys listening, and I'll see you guys in my next video.